Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name is Malcolm. We're here at the WrestleMania 41 Suites after Becky Lynch just returned to WWE with a UK star, a future great, and already great herself, better than the Queen. Rhio, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm real good. How about you?
I'm doing great. What's your thoughts on Becky Lynch return to WWE? Because we just saw it like 5-6 minutes ago.
You know that's like it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, if I think if Lyra is gonna have anyone to help her, like if Bailey's not here for whatever reason,
Who knows?
then I do think Becky Lynch was a good person. You know, it's the
Yes.
Irish connection they've got going on. So like, I think it makes sense, but it was just wild, isn't it? Like things are just moving so fast. It's crazy.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, looking at your career, right? You've been wrestling for about 10 years, correct?
10 years this year, yeah.
10 years is insane. That's a lot of time. What have you learned about yourself in the last 10 years, seeing where you started now where you are?
Do you know what? I feel like I've learned the most about myself in the past year.
Yeah.
For the first kind of couple of years, it was just kind of getting into wrestling and understanding the business as a wrestler. And then kind of COVID hit and things like that. And then after COVID, I was kind of finding my feet again.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to refine my feet.
Yeah.
I think everyone probably did. You know,
Yeah,
it was like start baseline again. But I never really had the confidence. And I don't know if that's just something that had happened in like when I first started.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everyone has, I guess, maybe not everyone, but horror stories as such. And you know, I think there was things that happened when I was training, and I was, you know, there was groups. There was a group before me, and they weren't too kind, basically. So that jilted the confidence of me and like people in my class. But now the difference between my class and their class is just insane. So like, I think like I had such a confidence doubt in myself. Like I don't know. I just always felt like, oh, I don't feel like I'm moving right. I don't feel like I'm this, that, and the other. But it's crazy because when I was a kid, I dominated sports, and I was so confident in my abilities. And then, kind of teenager, I grew out of it. So I feel like a teenager to my like early to mid 20s, I just kind of coasted. I don't know. I think I'd preferred to just be like the quiet one in the corner, and I'd do what I could do, and I was confident that I could do well.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't unlocking the potential that I knew I had. So like it was only like the last year, I feel like I've really just kind of flipped that switch and gone, do you know what? I'm not listening to what people are saying, because I think for so long I believed that people were saying these things because it was true. Like people would say horrible things, and then now I realized, oh no, it was jealousy, or it was they're not happy in themselves or whatever. And you know, I feel like hatred stems from people who hate their own existence or situation or whatever. So it was realizing where that come from, and then it was me pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but I am the one who had to do that.
Yeah.
To then go, I know what I can do, and it's always a mind over matter thing. Like I feel like you feel like your body's gonna stop, but your mind knows. Your mind will push you that bit further.
Absolutely.
So,
and like there's a lot of people that like hate on people that they know they see a lot of potential in. And like clearly your potential is being shown. The whole world knows who you are. I always see your name pop up on social media like every other week. I'm like, this girl should sign here and should sign there and go there and go there. Like
every 2 minutes.
bro, like I see your name so often, and I know there's a photo of you at like maybe in the crowd at NXT.
Yeah.
Yo, tell us about it. How was your experience down at NXT?
Do you know what? Like it was kind of crazy because I'd just gone to Florida for 5 weeks. I've got a visa, so I thought might as well use it. And I was out for Progress and Defy, and ended up doing a few other little shows kind of thing. But I just thought myself, you know, understand wrestling's a business still, and I watch the product. I enjoy NXT. I enjoy all wrestling. I'm not going to say on one side or the other. Tribalism, don't come for me.
Nope.
I love all wrestling across the board, no matter the brand. But I do enjoy NXT, and I was in Florida, in particular Orlando, so I was like, makes sense. And I was actually staying with Wolfgang and his wife, Molly Spartan, because me and Molly Spartan go back quite far, so, and we went viral together and got a lot of hate together on the internet, so, you know, we're close like that. So I was staying with them for 5 weeks, and obviously Wolfgang being in Gallus, so I would just go along to kind of support him in Gallus, and also, I feel like NXT is somewhere I could see myself being, so I would be stupid to not look at the product, right?
Yeah, okay.
You know?
I was gonna ask you next, like, is the WWE like one of your main goals to get to?
Definitely. I think there's always that thing is like, WWE, I think, is one of the things that a lot of people saw as a child.
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously your AEWs wasn't there, your TNA's was, so, like, you know, there's that option, but I feel like the first wrestling I ever saw was WWE, so for that reason, I'm like, That's the only reason. Again, tribalism don't come for me. I don't care about what everyone thinks about it. But like, yeah, I enjoy the thought of me being a WWE. I think just again, it's that childhood thing of going, I want to be a wrestler, and it was WWE that I saw the ability there. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I also saw that you did a WWE tryout recently. Can you tell us about that? Like, what can you share with us about your tryout with WWE?
I'm not too sure what I can or can't share, but it was held at the UK Performance Centre. So it was around the time of, it was like the last week of the European tour leading up to WrestleMania. So there was SmackDown in London, there was Raw in London. I think the SmackDown was Friday, Raw the Monday, and it was that weekend in between that the tryout was held. And I think it was the first tryout that in the UK that they had athletes from the UK. Wow. So it wasn't like an all wrestler tryout. Yeah. So it was quite interesting to try out with people that, you know, aren't wrestlers and have specialities in other sections. So, you know, I saw the weaknesses that they had. However, I also saw the strengths that they had, and I was like, ooh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I got annihilated on a med ball toss. But when it comes to the roles in the wrestling, I brought it back, so it's all good.
I'm sure. I mean, like, how can you not sign it, honestly? WWE Triple H, look, signed, please, you have to.
Oh,
now we're here at WrestleMania, so who is your dream opponent in pro wrestling right now? Because I know there's probably a lot.
Do you know what? I feel like I want to mix it up with everyone. I know it sounds like a really shady thing to say, because it sounds like I'm on the fence. But if I had to pick, I think a Rhea Ripley thing would be fun for me. Okay. I think Charlotte Flair. Okay. I'm you know, Io.
Yeah, Io.
Bianca. Today. Yeah. I'm not gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna shoot for the champions, to be fair. So maybe realistically, I should be looking at Io and Tiffany because they're the champions. So maybe that, you know, I'm not here to mess about. I want the championship. So if it's not them, then you better give me the number one contenders at current, and I'll go through them first. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. Now, so the WWE has an ID program. I feel like you should be a part of that. Why do you feel like you should be part of WWE ID?
I think because it gives wrestlers the chance to broaden their horizons, and it gives wrestling fans the chance to see wrestlers that they're maybe not used to seeing. So, for example, I think within WWE Universe, there's probably independent wrestling promotions that they've never heard of, or they maybe don't even know that exist. Yeah. You know, I think maybe less so in the modern day, and maybe more people are becoming aware because of social media, etc. But I do think that there are them fans still that are just not aware. So then, like the WWE ID shows them like, oh, these people are also wrestlers, and you know they've got the same chance as everybody else to make it to WrestleMania. Like, for example, Lyra, she was on the independents in like Ireland and Europe and the UK and stuff. So, and now she's just become a double champion in WWE, right? 2 of them. And well deserved, by the way, Lyra. Well deserved. You know, everyone's very proud of you. So yeah, I think I would personally like that for me, just because I feel like, not to sound big-headed, but there's a few of us in particular that have done so much work to elevate not just the British scene, but the European scene. Absolutely. The British scene in particular, I'm more confident to say that with, because obviously there was Speaking Out, and then there was COVID, and there was NXT UK. So it just seemed like a lot of people disappeared off the scene in a very quick time. So it took a lot of work, and again, it's not just the wrestlers. There's referees, there's, you know, promoters, creative, crew of all kind. There was, you know, we're all this big machine together, but we had this scene that was struggling, and you know, there was a lot of obviously negativity online, because it seems to breed online, doesn't it? But like, there was a lot of people saying like, oh, British wrestling, independent wrestling is dead. It's, you know, it's lifeless, and it took the hard work of a lot of us to rebuild that, not even just to elevate, but to rebuild it back to a basic fairground. So, and now we've managed to shoot that to be what I'm very confident in saying, we want the best independent scene in the world. I don't care. I'm saying it, and you can come from the internet. I don't even care. Like I genuinely do think if you look at wrestler for wrestler, the British wrestling scene has the strongest. On the independents, you know. A lot of people say Japan, but I'm like, well, when you look at it, are some of these Japanese wrestlers independent? Because I feel like they're signed to a particular brand. British independent wrestling, we're not signed to brands. We're, you know, so I'm very confident in saying that, and I'm going to put it out there right now. So come for me on Twitter. I don't even care. But yeah, it took a lot of us. So I think it would be nice for us, the ones who have elevated, and then not just the British scene, and then helped push the surge in the European scene. Again, that is a lot of hard work of their own. You know, the Spanish wrestlers, the French wrestlers, Belgian wrestlers, German wrestlers, you know, they've all done their own hard work. But I feel like there is quite a few of us that have done that together. So I feel like WWE ID doesn't just help us as independent wrestlers, but it helps our scene. So I would love to elevate our scene. I want everyone to grow.
Ooh,
you know?
hey, that's such a good answer. Now, the internet's gonna love that. They're gonna love it. Now I have one more final question for you because Cody Rhodes versus John Cena about to start. You gotta watch that. Oh, he's coming out right now. Before we get to that, what is your Waffle House order?
Hey, can I quickly say Waffle House is better than Denny's, and I'm saying it. Come forward.
Yes.
Oh, my Denny's. But Waffle House, I don't eat meat. Not for religious reasons, I just animal rights reasons. And so I'll always have eggs, hash browns, and toast. Yeah. If I've had a good week if I'm feeling all right myself, I might get myself a cheeky waffle as well. Go on then. I like a coffee and an orange juice.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. In case people aren't following social media, where can they follow you?
Instagram and Twitter, both Rhio, RHIO _wrestler. And it's pronounced Rhio.
There it is. I appreciate your time so much. It's been great. Now we gotta go watch John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. My name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out.
We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.